Woohoo, we're recording. All right, you guys, welcome to tonight's team call. It is Monday, February 7th of 2022. We are flying right through, and Kate is going to be presenting to us tonight. I just want to say I'm really excited that we're doing this 21-day challenge and pushing through February together as a team. We're going to support and love one another and help each other push outside that comfort zone. And what? Freaking jump in the damn pool and splash around and have some fun together instead of dipping our damn toes in the cold water. So without further ado, I'm going to mute myself and let the beautiful Caitlin Kamer take over because she's leading tonight.
All right, guys. Hello. You all are going to have to bear with me because I had every intention of putting a lot of plan and thought into this call, and then today happened. So we're going to wing it, and it's going to be awesome, which tonight, what I wanted to talk about, I brought this to Corey and I said, I just really feel pulled to talk about this, especially because we are just starting this 21-day, like really focused group. I mean, it's been a bit since we've done like a really focused business challenge. And so I felt really compelled to talk about this because what I'm about to discuss is probably one of the biggest factors for why I am where I am today, which I am a diamond coach. I have multiple working coaches underneath me. I have more clients than I can even count at this point. There's been a lot of growth over the past year, despite everything that has been going on personally in life. And so that big thing that has allowed me to get where I am today, with life just being all over the place and completely and utterly out of my control in so many ways, shapes, and forms, is adaptability. Being adaptable. This business calls for that on a daily basis. And I think, when it comes to building a business, like this business, you guys, this whole Beachbody thing, it is very simple to build this kind of business. Super simple. Beachbody basically does it for you. I mean, they list out everything you need to do. Like they couldn't make it any easier as far as any simpler as far as like the steps that you need to do consistently in order to build momentum and see success. But is it easy? No. And the reason I say that it's not easy is because it is so easy to not do the things. That in itself makes this difficult. You don't have a boss. You don't have anybody there giving you repercussions if you don't show up. If you don't feel like getting out of bed, if you're feeling lazy, if you're feeling emotionally stretched, I mean, you could have completely and utterly legitimate reasons. Trust me, I have had completely and utterly legitimate reasons this whole past year to not do shit. It's just me there showing up for myself. And yes, like you have the support of all of us and, and everything like that. But like at the end of the day, no one's going to hold your hand through this. Like you are responsible for doing your own work. And for me, I used to, when I first became a coach, we talk so much about, sorry, I feel like my nose is going to start bleeding again. My child tried to pull my nose ring out like 2 seconds ago. So it's fun. I feel like it's going to bleed. It's not going to. I'm paranoid. When I first became a coach, we talk so much about consistency when it comes to this, like consistency to build momentum with your business, to make connections with people and build relationships and enroll clients and help, enroll and then train and bring up and help coaches. And all of that is true. It is all true. Like it's same thing with our health and wellness. Like consistency is the key to all of that. However, I do think that it doesn't have to be that cute little box that we put it in where you have to check all the boxes and do all the things and just constantly have every single little duck in a row. I think that shifting the perspective on what consistency is to us and being adaptable is what is going to allow you to show up for your business and for yourself and your clients and your coaches down the road once you have more coaches and things like that, regardless of what's going on in life, regardless of how good or tough that season of life is that you're in. Just like our health journey, when it comes to your health, especially like, when it comes to exercise, when it comes to nutrition, we have seasons of grace with that, right? Like we go through seasons where we're super stretched, we have a crazy schedule with like our kids and work and things like that, or like we go through seasons of life where like you're pregnant or you're a new mom to a little, and things like that, like you're sick, whatever it may be. Like we have those grace periods, right, with our health. We also have periods of grind and focus, and we're going to stick to our, like those of us doing 75 hard right now, which I'm still not happy about. We're focused on food. We're focused. I'm going to bitch about it till March 18th. I'm going to continue to bitch about it. So just, I'm sorry, I'm going to be like that. But we have like those seasons where we are going to be super focused, and this business is the same thing. It's the same thing. What it takes is being able to get to a point where you can understand, acknowledge, and realize what kind of season you're in, and then act accordingly. Rather than putting, like for me, this past year with like the divorce stuff and all that, and shoot, even now, I mean, there were plenty of times where I would have, I was that chronic coach way back when, where things would get overwhelming. Like I'd have to do everything just a certain way. Things would get overwhelming, and then I would fall off the face of the earth and just not show up for anything. Like I wouldn't do anything. And it took a lot of mental shifts to get to where I could become adaptable. And so you look at this past year, there were so many times where I was still showing up consistently, just not in the same capacity that I normally would. That was a hell of a lot more productive than me sitting there stressing myself out, spinning my wheels, trying to do all of the things, despite the fact that my whole life is imploding and eventually just falling off the face of the earth again. So adaptability. And I don't want to make this call like super long or anything, because I do think at the end of the day, this is, I mean, all of this stuff is like inner work, right? But this especially is something that you have to work on yourself. Now, certainly if you do need tips, or us, Corey, Katie, Mindy, myself, like us leading coaches, like we are here to lend a hand when it comes to this kind of thing, if you are needing tips with this. But as far as what I thought would be the easiest way to talk about this, which I'm going to be looking at notes because I don't want to get off track here or miss anything, I thought that I would kind of give you a glimpse of what my seasons of grind look like and what my seasons of grace look like. And now, before I go into this, because I'm not trying to shell shock anybody, I am not trying to, this business is very much one of those where you get out of it what you put into it. And when it comes to measuring success with this business, it is not just a numbers game. Everybody says it's just a numbers game. I truly don't believe it is. There are so many other factors that go into this. What I'm about to tell you about, as far as like the kind of work that I put in, is what works for me, and it is also what I have grown to become comfortable with. Like I've been doing this for, I didn't just start this yesterday. So if you are looking for some assistance in where to find some comfortability, that fine line between comfortability and growth with your own business, for sure get with us coaches, and we're here to help you with that. So I just don't want to shell shock you with the numbers I'm going to say. So keep that in mind. My seasons of grind, when I am all in, going for rank advancement, like back when we pushed for diamond, all of that. The Success Club tracker, every box is checked every single day. Not the one on the phone that has like, it's a lot more simplified. The tracker on the in the coach office, I'm talking like the printout, like all the story stuff, all of that, checked all those boxes every day. Showed up daily for my own journey. Didn't miss a workout, or didn't, I was there for food. I was there for all the nutrition stuff, for all the exercise stuff. I shared all of it. If I was missing something for some reason, I was openly communicating that. I think a big part of being a coach with this, you guys, is even when we're experiencing times in our life where things are tough, like it's like we've always got to have that thing on in the back of our brain, like how can I, like this is shitty right now, how can I twist this to teach somebody something? Like how can I take what I'm going through right now that is so tough and help somebody else with it? Like that is where my brain is at all the time. Like it's just always on. Like it used to be something that I felt like I had to like switch on, and now it's always there. It's like, oh, I just wanted to eat my body weight in ice cream. Here, let me go into a live about how to not do that. Which I actually kind of did today. Social media posts, at least a minimum of one every day, including weekends, a max of like 3, probably more like 2 to 3 a day post wise, or reels, things like that. I committed to doing at least 1 live, if not 2 lives a week on social media. And when I said posts, reels are included in that. I check in with clients, especially clients who are, I mean, I'm checking in with all clients, but like, especially those clients who are showing up more for their journey, who are showing more promise and more, they're just more comfortable reaching out to other people in the group. I am touching base with them quite often, probably like once a week. I am working with my working coaches routinely. That could be, and obviously that's something you'll get to down the road as you have more working coaches. But like when Corey and I are hustling, we talk every day, multiple times a day. I clear all follow-ups daily. On a light week, I would probably send out like 50 invites. On a heavier week, I would probably send out 200 plus. Now, mind you, I do count initial points of contact as an invite. So yes, a lot of those were legitimate invites into a wellness group or to a coaching call or something like that. But a lot of them too were just introducing myself and just starting conversation. So, but between 50 and 200 points of contact a week in seasons of grind. I also was beyond committed to personal and professional development every single day. Read personal development or listened to it every single day. And then the national wake up call, of course, but I found something of a professional development sort to listen to every day. I would go and dig up the resources are crazy out there as far as like finding, calls from like superstar coaches, things like that. Like I just always want to have like that flow going. Same with prospective clients, prospective coaches, information, like everything's flowing like all the time. And as far as like, I mentioned that I was posting like 1 to 3 times a week. I batched all of that content. I took one day out of the week and I batched everything. That way I wasn't like flying by the seat of my pants or anything. Like I had it all set to go. If anything, I even batched pictures. I would go ahead and set aside like 30 to 40 minutes of my day one day, and I would just get a few outfits and I would take a bunch of pictures, like do my makeup, take a bunch of pictures, and then I would have pictures for the next couple weeks. Like I mean, it was a well-oiled machine as far as that goes. And then of course, storing daily, making sure to interact with people who interact with my stories daily. And I'm not, like, yes, like you can, we've talked about this before, you can do the like polls, like, do you want to join me, et cetera, et cetera. But like I would do a lot of like just social engagement type polls, like that had nothing to do with health or wellness or anything. Like those are the things I would focus on. Like I just talked to a lot of people. I just had lots and lots and lots and lots of conversations. So that is a season of grind. And again, you're not going to do that all the time because it's a lot. Like, and again, please, please, please do not read into the numbers or anything like that. Those are all things I worked up to. And I'm sure a year or two from now, I'll be doing things that like me today would be like, fuck no, that's overwhelming as hell. There's no way I would ever do that. And then 2 years from now, I'll be like, oh yeah, like that's like a normal thing. It's going to be the same thing for you. Because like the work that I'm doing now, all that stuff that I just reeled off to you made me want to like throw up back when I first became a coach. Like there was no way I was going to wrap my brain around that. There's a growth curve with this. Like you're going to grow in this. So if you are feeling overwhelmed right now, congratulations, you're human. It's good that you have feelings. You do not have to start there. And I honestly, I would recommend against starting with like coming out of the gate and just trying to do a big volume thing, because I know I personally have tried that, and it'll burn you out so fast because you are just looking at it from a numbers thing. It's not organic. Like organically reaching out to that kind of number of people each week is one thing. Like forcing yourself to like jump out of your comfort zone, like leap out of it into thin air. When you're first starting out, to me is, I don't know. I would much rather see you ease into it and continue that organic route. I mean, certainly we want to be uncomfortable, we want to be growing, but the whole like, biting off more than you can chew, like I live that. So, or I used to live that. So don't do that. Okay, so on the other hand, my seasons of grace, for example, I love seeing everybody's faces. So much fun. Uh, I stay consistent with my journey, my own stuff, my health and my wellness, nutrition, all the things. Still checking in with clients, still checking in with working coaches, but maybe like, I mean, my working coaches, I'm still talking to them closely, but when it comes to like clients and things like that, I'm checking in with them predominantly in the group. I am checking in with them one-on-one, maybe like once a month, if that. Um, Shoot, I had a few months this summer where I wasn't even checking in as much in the group, which that was a luxury for me because I had Corey and Katie to lean on for that, where I could raise a hand. And I think there was like 2 months there where I mean, I still checked in and tracked my own stuff, but like I did not have, they shouldered the responsibility of, talking with everybody every day. Like I could just come in and out as I had time, or really as I had like mental energy for. Um, I can, as far as like prospective clients go, I continue to keep active conversations going. Um, at that point in time, and I'm talking when I'm say gray season, I mean like this is bottom of the barrel, like bare minimum stuff that I'm doing. I still storied. I still like shared about that. I still, I shared the parts of my life that I was going to share. I was transparent about that. Um, Post wise, maybe 3 to 4 times a week, if that. I mean, sometimes I think I did twice a week. I relied more on stories than I did on posts themselves. As far as invites go, I invited when it was convenient. I was in a situation, really what happened is I was in a situation where I had done so much of that hustle work, which, and this is going to be the same case for you. If you truly put in that time of hustle and that time of grind, when those gray seasons come, you can get away with this, where you can just keep active conversations going on. You can continue to invite as it organically happens, and you will keep like the pipe keeps flowing, like everything keeps moving. I still worked on personal development daily. And that was really about it. And I think, you know, I mean, if we want to get real transparent here, I would say that I have not had like a quote unquote grind season with this business, like for a month, like a period, probably since August. I have not like, I think I have sent out maybe a total of 15 to 20 invites a month since August. And I have still hit Success Club. I have still showed up for my own journey. I have still continued to build momentum in my business because of the fact that I had those grind periods, those grind seasons. So that's the thing with this, you guys. If it's like, I don't know, man, if I had $1 for every time Corey told me it's like pumping a well. You remember when you used to tell me that constantly? I would reach out to her and I'd be like, I'm so frustrated. I'm doing all this work and no one's enrolling, and I'm all up in my head. And she's like, it's like pumping a well. You just need to have patience. Like, I'm sure she told you guys too. I wanted to shoot her. But it is true in that if you do put the time in and you do put the work in, you can get to the point where you can have those gray seasons. That way, when it comes time to need to adapt to these things, you have the capability and the flexibility to do it. And, for me, um, I I don't know, I am just now getting to a turning point where I'm going to be able to start moving out of that grace period of life, because life is finally starting to taper out. But like, again, to be super transparent with you, so like not November, but like December and January were very challenging. Very, very challenging. Like the holiday was just crazy and things like that. And there is something to my bare minimum list here, which make sure you go back and listen to this call and write that stuff down, because there is something to it. Because in December and January, I was really struggling. And I stopped having I was keeping some conversations going, but like the majority of those like active conversations I was having back and forth with prospective clients and things like that, I just kind of had backed off completely. I did not hit Success Club in December or in January. And it's because of that. It's because I let off of the bare minimum that I had set for myself. So there is something to it. I promise you there is. Like, there's method to the madness. I think, I don't know, you guys, like, I know, I mean, so many of you are, I was really excited to see that there's so many of you that are wanting to do the push group with us in February. I think it's going to be really good. I think it's going to build a lot of momentum. Like that, just the content calendar alone. I think back to when I was first a coach, like that is a game changer. Like, I think it's great that it gives you like just enough detail to kind of get your mind thinking, and then you can kind of like make it your own. And so I think it'll be good for you guys to see kind of what a quote unquote grind season at this stage of your coaching business is going to look like. But I think, I don't know, not only are a lot of you newer and you are, or, getting back into this business and trying to build it up again, but, a lot of you are going through really challenging seasons of life too. And for a lot of you, those are, that's not really like an end in sight kind of thing. Like, you've got a lot of ebbs and flows going on. So to me, it's never going to be perfect. Like, ever. It's never going to be perfect. And I promise you, and I am not saying this to discourage you, I am saying this to prepare you. Like, as you move up in this business, it doesn't change. If anything, it's more responsibility. I mean, it's a lot more fun because you have more people you're doing it with, and like yes, new level, new devil. Like that fire that you have to keep you going changes, because like, I think initially, like when you're going for emerald and even when you're going for diamond, I mean, you're working for you, you're trying to level up for you. When it comes to anything beyond that, like that fire that you've got going for you, you're working for your girls. Like me now, like I'm getting into a season where it's like, I want to see you guys moving up in this. Like Corey wants to see you guys moving up in this. Like, we want to see you leveling up in your business. So, and then time will pass, you'll get to where we are now, and then you'll be saying the same thing with people that you probably haven't even met yet, because you're going to meet them and they're going to be amazing and you're going to work together and like life's going to be awesome. So, adapting to me when it comes to these different seasons of life for me at this stage of the game, I think it is the single most important thing, truly, that has allowed me to continue to do what I'm doing, because I know for a fact that I tried coaching twice before I like got in and stayed in. And because I was unable to adapt, I quit. I mean, and I was in it. Like, that second time I had been coaching for months. Like, I had enrolled clients. Katie Sullivan was a coach underneath me, maybe a coach underneath me, or maybe she was a client. I think she was a coach. And I mean, I quit because I could not adapt. Life got really freaking hard and I could not adapt. And then this past year, I mean, was a shit show as far as like personal stuff goes. Like, it's by far, I'm 34 years old, it's the hardest year of my entire freaking life. Beachbody has been consistent this whole time because I was able to adapt through it. So it is possible. Like, there is nothing special about me, you guys. Like, I am the same as you. Like, we are the same. So like, if I am capable of doing this, you are 10,000% capable of doing this. You just need to get the fuck out of your heads with it. So I love you all. I hope this was helpful. And yeah, if you need any assistance or any advice from us, like ask us. Like we're here to help, but you do have to communicate and then just lean in and we'll go from there. So that's all I got.